These are the giants they must slay one day. A moving barricade they will learn to hunt. This is where the brothers will hone their skills. Prime real estate in the middle of the Okavango Delta in Botswana. Their territory is a patchwork of brown and green. Pride lands that include swamps with permanent water. So buffalo rarely leave their area. Tau and Banda will learn from the best, because Kakanaka lions are expert buffalo killers. The bellow summons the cubs like a dinner bell. The females are hunting. At 10 months, Tau and Banda are old enough to join the mothers, with instructions to watch and learn. But the brothers aren't the only ones who respond to the cries. Buffaloes have a kinship as tight as the lions' bond. They protect their own. This meal fights back. A buffalo is 5 times the weight of a lioness. A well-placed thrust could cripple a lion for life. On the sidelines, the brothers are out of danger and out of the way. But when they try to help, they distract the females, and the buffaloes get away. But just as quickly, the brothers see how misfortune turns into opportunity. The stampede exposes a loner, and the lionesses react. The mothers are fearless, driven to control and conquer. So Tau attempts his first jump on, risk-free. On the rump, he's away from immediate danger. Banda feels safer behind a tree. His practical will come later. When they get the buffalo down, Tau helps at the sharp end. His instinct to strangle is appropriate, but he lacks the strength. When reinforcements arrive, he realizes he's in over his head. Better let the experts do this. It takes the combined bite force of 2 adults to finally squeeze the life out of the buffalo. With a buffalo dead, horns and hooves are no longer a danger. It's what Banda's been waiting for. And then, more good fortune. A reed buck in the wrong place at the wrong time. The pride females make it look easy. In an instant, there's an appetizer on the menu. More than enough for everyone. The brothers are accustomed to this endless supply of food. While Banda gorges himself, Tau takes the opportunity to practice his suffocation technique. The antelope's head is a size he can manage. He clamps its nose and mouth shut to block off access to air. It's how he'll kill buffaloes one day. But for now, he leave that to his elders. Food is the mother's responsibility. Their fathers handle security. The Kakanika males spend time away from the family patrolling their borders. This area of the Okavango Delta is full of pride lands, 7 in total. Each one as large as Paris. And other lions have their eyes on the Kakanika territory. The pride males continually scent mark the perimeter of their territory as a warning to keep out or face an attack. But warnings don't always work. Today, the smell of the family's carcass tempts nomads into the heart of their territory. Though Tao and Banda hardly notice. The mothers are defensive, but they'll wait for the males to make the first move. The nomadic females may get a chance to eat, but the juvenile male won't be tolerated. And then the young brothers see firsthand how their fathers, the pride males, deal with rival intruders. The trespasser is lucky to escape with his life. Roaring is their final act of dominance. A bulletin to neighboring prides. It communicates location, prowess, and ownership. With their fathers on guard duty, Tao and Banda enjoy a meal in peace. On hunting trips with the lionesses, the brothers experience all the quirks of Delta living. Wet and chilly paws come with the territory. Although today, Tao learns how to stay dry. It looks easy when his mum does it. Bingo. Cautious Banda gets cold feet. No matter the obstacle, the lionesses stay focused on their primary target, buffaloes, sometimes going to extreme lengths to keep track of the herd. These grazers account for 70% of the pride's food. So it makes sense to keep them in their sights. As the buffalo crisscross Kakanika, the lions follow. And Tao and Banda learn about their world. The forest reveals an alternative prey source. Tao and Banda have eaten impala before, but not often. These agile antelope usually outrun the lionesses, and the meager food reward is not worth the effort of a chase. This herd seems too alert for an ambush, and they've got help. Impalas and baboons share sentry duty. Eyes and ears primed at multiple locations and levels ensure top-notch surveillance. Though no one sees Tao creep closer. Until now. With the alarm raised, the lion's game is up. They won't catch an impala now they've been spotted. Now 18 months old, Tao and Banda's focus is hunting. And they pick up the subtleties of stalking buffalo by watching the lionesses. They control the pace of the hunt, understand that measured calm must balance the energy of an ambush. They hang back on purpose and study the herd for weak spots. Perfect. A straggler, and he's injured. They move into attack positions. Lionesses and cubs are now a single unit. Their adrenaline-fueled onslaught catches the bull off guard. And the support of the cubs gives the lions a weight advantage. Within seconds, they wrestle him down. Both brothers are now experienced enough to help on the kill. Banda stops the bull from kicking the rest of the pride. Tao smothers his cries before the herd can attempt a rescue mission. With so many females around, they both practice without pressure. And when it gets too hard, there's always a mother to take over and deliver the suffocation bite. But this idyllic childhood doesn't last. 6 months later, carefree days and easy meals end abruptly. The attack comes without warning. It's a brutal pride takeover. The rival's timing is perfect. He's waited for this moment for weeks. He storms into their territory when the family is separated and scatters the remaining females. Only one Kakanaka male is close enough to retaliate. But the rival's intense power is overwhelming. When their father bolts, the brothers know they're conquered. They surrender their pride lands forever. Tao and Banda flee for their lives. It's a jolt to adulthood, as extreme as night and day. Yesterday, the brothers walked with the pride as usual. Today, they are alone. Quite naturally, they stumble onto the first rule of survival as nomadic males. Stick together. A coalition is their best chance to win a territory one day, and a mate. This play session recalls their time together as cubs, and that's vital. Their bond is their insurance policy for the future. The brothers wisely keep a low profile and move through different territories quickly without being spotted. But others can't help attracting attention. It's worth investigating. They haven't eaten in 4 days. All the signs look promising. And as they get closer, a familiar stench confirms the find. A 7-day-old carcass is hard to miss. Tao dives right in, but Banda's wary. And it's difficult to get enthusiastic about a mouthful of maggots. Rotten meat is not dangerous to lions, because their stomachs secrete digestive enzymes powerful enough to deal with a heavy bacterial load. A vulture can handle the mother load. The original owners don't make an appearance. And Banda gets over his worry and his queasiness. This won't be the only time they'll eat leftovers. Scavenging and stealing is now their way of life. After 6 months, the prospect looks hopeful for the brothers. Summer is when buffaloes drop their calves. They can take advantage of this glut of protein. They just need a strategy. He's the right size for them to hunt. But how do they set an ambush without alerting the herd? His mother's not taking any chances. Back to tracking is the pattern they know. Though every step takes them deeper into enemy territory. That roar is their cue to leave. And the second rule for nomadic survival: stay away from territorial pride males. Tao breaks both rules when he suddenly splits from Banda. Curiosity doesn't end well for cats. Tao's been spotted, and now the bigger male knows he's inside his pride lands. Tao is on his own. Banda's nowhere to be seen. The pride male's age gives him confidence. But Tao ignores all the visual tip-offs of dominance. pride male roars his final warning. Despite the threat, Tao doesn't back down. The pride male delivers the ultimate lesson in humility. And Tao narrowly escapes. External scars heal quickly. Internal ones take a lot longer. Tao's impulsiveness puts them both in danger. Banda probably wouldn't survive alone. The rainstorm brings healing and relief to the land and the lions. Now 3 years old, they've stretched into broader versions of themselves, though they still play like cubs. As the storm breaks, a month of pent-up energy is released. It's a chance to exercise stiff muscles. And reaffirm their blood bond. Playing in the rain, their spirits remain undampened. The year moves on, and Tao and Banda's bodies change again. Light manes turn chocolate-colored. Their strategy remains the same. They skirt round the edges of territories, alert for food or danger. So the brothers fan out to recce the area. Banda heads for the thicket. He has to be careful, and so far, prudence has served him well. There it is again. And then he catches a whiff that confirms his suspicion. Fresh meat. Only this carcass is taken. Females do occasionally tolerate nomads on their kills. And Banda's subservience gains him access. But good manners won't fill his empty belly. And now he's big enough to pull rank. The The females don't run far. His bluster is more hunger than malice. But this time, valor trumps discretion. Tao also notices an intriguing smell. But it's not a carcass. There she is. The beauty with the collar. Her scent is intoxicating. It pulls him on an invisible leash. Banda and food are forgotten. A new hunger drives him. She has his undivided attention. But he has to wait till she allows him to approach. They cross half a dozen floodplains. They could be anywhere. Tao's not aware of anything but her. The sun is low when he catches up to her. Not too close, not yet. That's not Banda's roar. And he didn't imagine it. That's a pride male. The beauty's consort. Less than a kilometer away. His roar sends a clear message of ownership. Her spell is broken. Tao's not prepared to go through that pain again. He doesn't think about direction. He's just got to put as much distance as possible between himself and that roar. Hours pass, and Tao is still retracing his steps. The swamps look different at night. He doesn't know where Banda is. He doesn't know where he is. He needs Banda to find him. He's never seen this tree. But he marks it to tell Banda he was here. His roar carries for 5 kilometers. Why no answer? Is Banda coming? Tao recognizes something. He's definitely been here before. Or has he? It's risky calling non-stop. It's not only Banda out there. But it's more dangerous to be alone. Tao's exhausted, but sleep doesn't come. Still nothing. Where is Banda? The sound of hope. Banda. He has come. Tao's relief is unmistakable. Back across the swamp, but this time, together. Banda knows the way. A year later, and their transformation is complete. As 4-year-old lions, Tao and Banda boast full, dark manes, the hallmark of maturity at last. When Tao picks up the scent of a female, he now has the strength to fight a pride male for her. But he's not rushing into anything. Banda's also eager to mate, though the brothers won't fight for the right. Coalition males follow a strict policy of first come, first served. The female's calls persuade the brothers to act. She's alone. She's ready to mate, and she's nearby. It's all the encouragement Tao needs. He wants to be first. He makes it clear to Banda that he's won the honor. A gentleman's agreement between brothers. Banda will wait his turn. Tao savors her scent and tests her readiness. Markers in her urine confirm she's in heat. But then something different hits his nose. The Pride male. Their female belongs to him. There's no way to avoid a battle. And now it's a Pride takeover. The lioness is too precious to lose. Tao reacts on instinct. But Banda's being strategic. One-on-one, Tao and the Pride male are evenly matched. Teamwork tips the balance for the brothers. When the Pride male submits, Banda immediately targets their asset. The Pride male is Tao's responsibility. Their coalition is the game changer, a united front in the battle for territory. The Pride male will be banished, and the female found. The brothers' time has come. By morning, Banda's first to reach her, and he wins the title of consort. Though he won't do anything but wait. It's the lioness that'll initiate the mating act. This is one time in lion society where the fairer sex calls the shots. It will happen in her time, when she's ready. Tao is a little worse for wear after the fight and the long chase, but undamaged. He's on guard duty. He'll only mate when Banda allows him to. As brothers, their bloodline would endure no matter who sires the cubs. They carry the same genetic code. It's the key benefit of brotherhood. Over 2 days, Banda's resigned persistence makes an impression. Before the female trusts her fate to the brothers, she has to be sure of their long-term commitment. She's choosing her cubs' fathers after all. When they finally mate, it's with the familiar comfort of an established partnership. Now their course is set, and a period of hectic activity will replace Banda's time in limbo. The lioness stays in estrus for 5 days, so she'll try to mate 3 times an hour, every hour through the night, until Banda's had enough. Repeated coupling is her best chance to fall pregnant. And then it's Tao's turn. The brothers get equal opportunities to mate, and therefore to claim paternity. They switch roles without a fight. Although after waiting 2 days, Tao's a lot more impatient than Banda. He claims this ultimate prize, so hard won, but now truly deserved. He announces their new status to the entire neighborhood. The new kids on the block are here to stay. Their lioness is not the only female to join them. She has two sisters who also consent to mate. In less than a year, Tao and Banda lead a pride of 11. No longer in exile and forgotten, but pride males, vital to the fabric of lion society. Cubs inject new life into the brothers and give purpose to everything they do. They are now the role models to guide their sons and daughters. With help from the females, they assume their rightful place as the family's protectors and providers. All this because of their unbreakable bond as brothers. And a stranger...
She's like a weird, isn't he? It's the way you see this wild dog there. I was like, oh, yeah, you know, funny joke. And
It's lion.
yeah, I can hear lion.
They also steal the dog's skills.
A three-way between wild dogs, crocs, and a lion.
Is that thing dead?
We've seen that, eh?
Yes, yes.
I'll tell you about it just now.
Guess it's quite a blood trail, eh? Come on, drag it out the water. There we go.
Yes, yes.
Yes, there we go. Teamwork.
Hyena!
Is a hyena coming?
Typical hyena. Yes, just snaking. Here comes the hyena. Spotted hyena coming in.
Now there'll be a fight.
Yeah, here it comes. Yes, full pace.
Now everyone's just going to chow.
So much blood. Yes.
The dry season. The buffalo are on the move. Many of them spend the rainy months grazing and breeding up on the nearby plateau, where there are fewer predators. Once the rains end, they must come down from their refuge in order to survive. Over the next 7 months, they'll trek through the river valleys in search of dwindling reserves of food and water. As days pass, small groups join to form a herd, one of several in this part of Ruaha. The buffalo travel together for mutual protection. They'll need it. Their journey will take them straight into lion country. Ruaha is Tanzania's largest national park and its most remote. Still largely untouched by humans, this place remains truly wild. Life here is governed by natural laws and by the ancient bonds between predators and prey. In the rest of Africa, lions are disappearing. But here in Ruaha, they thrive. At the heart of the park lives one of the greatest concentrations of lions on Earth. This area is bounded by 3 main rivers, the Madonia, the Mwagusi, and the Great Ruaha. It's home to some 150 lions, divided into a dozen different prides. The buffalo herd will have to run this deadly gauntlet, moving from one pride territory to the next to find water. Their arrival in the territory of the Madonia pride immediately puts them in grave danger. This is one of the biggest prides, with 26 lions. To hunt buffalo, they use strategies perfected over countless dry seasons. With the Madonia River starting to dry up, the buffalo seek out every remaining pool. Each sip increases the risk of attack. The herd is exposed in the riverbed, and they're skittish. When a lone lioness approaches, they panic. Her presence has triggered a stampede. Now, the challenge is to isolate a target without being trampled. She seeks out the weak and the slow. Animals that can't keep up with the herd. Even for the pride's best hunter, finishing off a buffalo alone is no easy feat. The injured cow's calls attract attention. Buffalo will fight to rescue one of their own, but they're reluctant to walk down this steep riverbank. They can't tell how many lions may be down there. Lioness and buffalo are on their own. Teeth and claws versus thick skin and powerful horns. It's an endurance game that this lioness refuses to lose. The outcome is inevitable. The lioness's hard-won victory will supply her pride with hundreds of pounds of meat. The buffalo are a resource that must be exploited while it lasts. The Madonia is usually the first river in this part of the park to stop flowing. And when it does, the buffalo, driven by thirst, will have to move on. For a newborn calf, the timing couldn't be worse. He's only hours old, still trailing his umbilical cord. He's in no shape to travel. A buffalo cow will often stay behind with her calf, waiting until it's ready to move. But she's trying her best to get him going. Others in the herd are less forgiving. As the calf struggles to find his footing, his mother faces a heartbreaking dilemma. Should she forsake the protection of the herd to stay with her infant, or abandon him and move on with the group? Her instincts compel her to leave. The calf is on his own, alone in the gathering dusk. Then, his mother appears to have a change of heart. Perhaps she's reluctant to desert the calf she carried for 11 long months. But that's exactly what she must do in order to survive. Even though survival for her means certain death for him. For the little calf, alone on the savannah, time is running out. Once he's spotted by a predator, he won't stand a chance. But somehow, he finds the strength to move. And not a moment too soon. It's nearly dark by the time he catches up with the herd. Even with his mother's protection, he'll remain vulnerable for months to come. An easy target for predators. As water sources dry up, more buffalo join the march. A herd can swell until it numbers 1,000 or more. The buffalo's search for water brings them into the territory of the Baobab Pride. Ancient baobab trees, some as old as 1,000 years, give the Pride its name. And they give this place an alien appearance. This is prime real estate with nearly 10 kilometers of river frontage along the Mwagusi. That draws prey in great numbers, which in turn supports an enormous pride. There are 33 hungry mouths to feed, including several litters of cubs, but it's the females that do all the hunting. The two resident males seem to fit the popular stereotype. Lazy lords of the pride. They must once have been powerful lions to win such a choice territory. Now they're past their prime. But so far, they're still holding on to their pride. With the buffalo on their turf, the females spend their days doing reconnaissance, scouting potential targets. The two old males keep their distance while keeping an eye on the lionesses and on the herd. The herd, meanwhile, is struggling to find water. Just like the Madonia, the Mwagusi River is drying up. The buffalo follow the pathfinders, making their way toward the edge of the territory. But the pride is not about to let them leave. Blocking exit points along the territorial boundary, the lions keep the buffalo bottled up. The herd's boldest members push back. They confront the lions and force them to retreat to the rocks. It's a stalemate. The lions can't attack, and the buffalo can't escape. As the sun sets, the lions begin to probe the herd, looking for weak spots. Now, the odds are squarely in the big cat's favor. These lions kill under cover of darkness. The next morning, the surviving buffalo absorb their losses and make their way out of the Baobab territory. The pride males didn't take part in the hunt, but they share the fruits of their lioness's labor. They may not enjoy such privileges for long. At their age, they're vulnerable to challenges by younger males from outside. The Baobab pride is ripe for a takeover. Most of the buffalo herd, including the calf that was so nearly abandoned, is leaving this territory unharmed. But they're about to face an even more fearsome group of lions, the Bushbuck Pride. They control one of the best territories around, with plenty of shade and good grazing along the Great Ruaha River. There's always good hunting here. And this pride of 9 adults is healthy, prosperous, and growing fast. 2 of its 6 lionesses are raising cubs. So no job is more important than hunting. And these lions will do whatever it takes to provide for the pride. All of the Bushbuck lions are powerful killers, and that includes the 3 adult males. Unlike the old Baobab males, they are still in their prime, and they don't depend on the lionesses for a meal. Every one of the pride's adults is capable of taking down big prey. These lions are buffalo specialists and daylight hunters. They shadow the herd while it's in their territory, but usually delay their attack until the buffalo are drinking, or right after they've had their fill. The males join together to hunt as a team. They target the older bulls that trail behind the main herd. These bulls may be past their prime and top-heavy, but they can still put up a fight. Two of the lions separate one bull from the rest of the group. Fit than he looked. He's too big and powerful for a frontal assault. They have to work from behind. With the lions on the defensive, the buffalo makes a run for it. But there's no escape. This will be a battle of attrition. The Bushbuck females use a different strategy from the males. For them, it's divide and conquer. By splitting the big herd into several groups, they reduce their risk from stampeding hooves. Just inside the forest, a lioness sizes up one of the splinter groups. She follows them down to the riverbed. The other lionesses can head off any escape. Despite the threat, the buffalo have to drink. After most of them have finished, the lioness surveys the riverbed, looking for a target. Among the stragglers is the same calf that was almost left behind earlier in the season. He's easy prey. But the lioness loses sight of him in the milling crowd. Instead, she targets his mother. The rest of her team keeps would-be rescuers at bay. But even that task is fraught with danger. Neither side backs down. Like a matador, the bushbuck lioness is trying to force the buffalo to charge. Once the cow lowers her head, she aims between the horns. Then she just has to hold on. Eventually, help arrives. Once again, the calf is alone. And this time, there will be no happy reunion. But even cruel fate cannot defeat this young buffalo. Despite the loss of his mother, he falls in line with the moving herd. If he can bond with the old males bringing up the rear, they'll protect him until he's strong enough to fend for himself. While the lionesses took down the cow, the pride's males battled their bull to the point of exhaustion. They, too, finally prevailed. For the bushbuck pride, it's been a good day. As for the herd, after months of attacks, they're about to get a reprieve, at least temporarily. Not all lions in Ruaha hunt buffalo. The herd is moving into the territory of the Kumi pride, who will let them graze in peace. The name Kumi is Swahili for 10 because there are 10 lions in this pride. The lioness who leads them is a master tactician. She and her sister are the only adults. They have 8 youngsters to train in the fine arts of hunting. As they patrol their territory, they keep their eyes peeled. The Kumi lions specialize in daylight ambush hunting. They look for targets of opportunity, mostly zebra and antelope. Even giraffes are fair game. When one ambles past the young lions resting in the shade, they're quick to take notice. This is a temptation they can't resist. The trick is getting close enough to launch an attack before they're spotted. The giraffe's best defense is a long stride, but the lions are in hot pursuit. One young female shows promise as a hunter, but she's not quite ready to take down this giant. The youngsters made a tactical error by striking too soon. The giraffe outpaces them. It was a valiant effort, but these novices have a lot to learn. The pride's lionesses, on the other hand, are master hunters. They've had years to hone their craft. The leader heads downriver, where zebra are gathering on the bank. She and her sister work their way closer to pick a target. Baboons and impala have chosen the same watering spot. So has a group of buffalo. The lions can't afford to spook these bystanders. If they raise an alarm, it would spoil the attack. When the zebra climb down the bank, the lionesses take up position. Down on the river, the impala are making trouble. Males are going head-to-head, challenging their rivals and defending their mates. The commotion upsets the neighbors. The animals begin to scatter. For the hunters, it's now or never. The leader makes her choice on the run. Her chokehold is a classic technique. And her sister helps complete the kill. As long as the Kumi lions are satisfied with smaller prey, the buffalo have little to fear. But even here, the herd isn't completely safe. Other lions have entered this territory. Lions with a taste for buffalo and no respect for boundaries. This is an unusual pride, the Inja. Their name means hungry. It's a good description for these lean cats. The group of 15 lions has its own territory. But to satisfy their hunger for buffalo, they trespass on the territories of at least 5 other prides. Just like human poachers, they depend on stealth and speed to make clandestine kills while trying to avoid the local residents. The Inja lions usually go after calves, easy to catch and kill. Today, they're hunting in the Kumi tribe's territory. But they're playing a dangerous game. If they're spotted by the Kumi, they risk being attacked. Late in the afternoon, the buffalo herd makes its way down to the water. The Inja follow. The lions wait until most of the herd has retreated to the forest. Then they look for stragglers. The Inja single out a calf. Its mother and the other buffalo have no chance to mount a defense. The lions finish off the calf quickly. The herd has suffered one more loss. Fortunately for the young orphaned calf, he was not the one targeted. His luck seems to be holding. But there are still harsh trials ahead. Every day, the buffalo's situation grows more dire. By late summer, most of the streams have dried up completely. The buffalo herd's weakest members won't survive the next few months. Many of the lions are suffering too. Some are nursing injuries from their battles with buffalo. For a lion, a broken leg is certain death. Others are forced to rely entirely on scavenging to survive. This lioness must compete with jackals for her share of the scraps. As they continue their search for water and food, the desperate buffalo double back. They return to the border area of the Baobab Pride. By now, the Mwagusi River is long gone. But somehow, the elephants know how to find water. They dig in the riverbed, uncovering hidden sources. Other animals take advantage of the new water holes. And some, including a few of the Baobab lions, have even mastered the elephant's technique. They are desperate for water, just like all of Ruaha's inhabitants. With the lions monopolizing this site, the buffalo must move on. Their pathfinder leads them downriver, looking for safer places to drink. But danger lurks everywhere in the Baobab territory, and recently, a new threat has arrived. There are strangers on the prowl, 4 big male lions. They may have come here looking for food, but they've stumbled on something better. A pride that's ripe for a takeover. the intruders make their presence known gradually, marking trees and bushes along the main game trails. There's not much the old resident males can do, except broadcast loud warnings. They go unheeded. A violent confrontation is brewing. After weeks in the Baobab territory, the young outsiders finally make their move, sniffing out the resident males for a showdown. These battles are often fought to the death, but the old lions must meet the challenge. Their lionesses will wait for the outcome. The battle is short and one-sided. The old Baobab males are beaten and forced into exile. Now the pride's cubs are under threat. The new rulers will kill any young sired by the deposed males. Their best chance for survival is to flee with their mother. But a single mother will get no help with the hunting until her cubs are at least a year old. She'll have to provide food and protect them from predators, including other lions. After she escapes, the usurpers begin mating relentlessly with the remaining lionesses. They'll make sure that the pride's next generation carries their genes. That's how they consolidate their takeover. The lions are getting a head start on the future. But for now, the challenge is surviving this hard season. Is bone dry. Ruaha's residents have reached the limits of survival. Then, at long last, distant thunder signals a welcome transformation. After 7 months, the rains are returning. Within weeks, there's an abundance of life-giving water. Animals no longer have to congregate at dwindling pools. Instead, they fan out across the green savanna, where the tributaries are now full and the grass is lush. The big buffalo herds break up into small groups again. Once they disperse, they're far less vulnerable to attack. Many buffalo head to the highlands to spend the coming months feeding and breeding. Calves that survive the dry season, including the young orphan, will have a chance to grow up in safer surroundings. For the lions, the rains are welcome. But new conditions bring new challenges. With their prey scattered, they have to hunt over wider distances, relying on tall grass for cover. But the rains won't last forever. In a few months, there will be another change of seasons. Once again, the buffalo will embark on their annual quest. And once again, the lions will be waiting.